Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chef Ava Marie Happy Hour podcast. We are live from McDonald's at the Sarah Monte Shopping Center. Today, we have a Dave, the head distiller, co-founder of the St. George Spirits in Alameda, California. I first heard about his Nola Kahlua brands at spitters of bottles in South San Francisco, California. And that got me hooked at first place. So let's get him on the stage. Dave, the head distiller and co-founder of St. George. Welcome, Dave. Let's- Hello, Dave. How are you? Hello.
I'm doing great, Chef
Can you
Eva.
hear
How are you
me?
doing today? Yep, can you hear me?
Doing. I can hear you.
Great. Yeah, I'm doing great today. How are you?
Doing good. So welcome to the ship podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how did you get started? Your love for your craft for distilling at what age and what year?
All right, so I'll share that. Um, just a quick note. I'm not actually the co-founder of St. George. I'm a partner in St. George, but our company, St. George Spirits, was founded in 1982 by a gentleman named Georges Ruth. So the company's been
Wow.
around for quite a while, making absolutely beautiful spirits. And I came on board in 2005.
That's
And
a decade ago.
it was a minute. It's been a minute. In the past, I've been a high school English teacher,
Oh,
and
we
wanted
love
to write
teachers.
stories, and discovered a whole new language to write stories and literally create messages in bottles here at St.
Wow.
George as I learned about distillation. So I came on board in 2005, and Nola is a project that's gone back about oh good
Yeah, that was a waitress. Yes.
12 plus years now, if not more. It's been we've had it. The very first batch of Nola we made was the very first coffee beans were roasted in from the full batch was February 14th, 2014. So 2 years.
Wow.
So it's been a long time project.
So, what kind of spirits did you guys have before you guys had the other spirits you have today?
So St. George Spirits was founded as an eau de vie maker, which is sort of a fancy name for unaged fruit brandies, and it's a fanciful name for that idea of taking an unaged fruit brandy. So it's a brandy that's not sat in wood at all, and so because of that, it's a very true expression of the raw materials. What I mean by that is very often distillation, people will talk about it as a process to make something that's really smooth, that's neutralizing flaws. From our point of view, eau de vie distillation, especially, and that idea works out into everything that we make here, whether it's a
Yeah.
coffee liqueur or a vodka or a gin or a whiskey. But as an eau de vie
Oh,
maker, our job is to capture and celebrate the best characteristics of those raw materials. And so our job is almost to get out of the way at some level and just capture the quintessential experience. And so in terms of raw materials, those brandies, that's things like capturing pears at the height of harvest, cherries, raspberries. We just want to translate them into a distilled formula, so they really showcase the best characteristics of that agriculture and of the harvest.
so as a South City, when did you start launching St. George after it was founded in the 1800s and in Alameda before expanding to like South San Francisco and many other distributors?
So St. George has been since 1982. We've been selling throughout the
Oh yeah.
state, markets in the country, as well as internationally. For probably the first 15 or 20 years of St. George as for its life, the majority of our spirits were being sold overseas back in Europe, and then a
Oh,
bit of it was being sold locally here as well.
wow.
And there was a real I in the sort of late '90s, early 2000s. Lance Winters, our master distiller, he came on board in the mid '90s, and he in New York had the idea of not just making fruit brandies, but starting to take the understanding of those fruit brandies and that idea of capturing those raw materials, and to start making things like flavored vodkas. And at the time, flavored vodkas were a really hot category. And they took the story of those fruit brands, of just capturing these raw materials, of those capturing the best parts of those raw materials, but they took that and they translated it into the language of flavored vodka, and that really helped put St. George on the map. And
Wow.
suddenly, our distribution footprint got much larger. And over that time, we kind of like starting to lay down the very first barrels of American single malt. Very in the early days, there were very few producers even touching on the idea of American single malt. They started laying down barrels for an American single malt, and we've been exploring categories and trying to sort of communicate, I think, the best of ourselves
Wow.
ever since then.
So as a South City girl, my family's been drinking Kahlua, the major brand, for so many generations. And I'm a South City girl, fruit for 35 years. Been cooking with it, make cakes and desserts. But this, when I went to Bitters and Bottles on Grand Avenue, this Nola, your product took me on edge in a good way. And it took me back to my time at Orange Beach, Alabama, when I was competing in a WFC competition. What was
Okay.
the inspiration you created a product like this, and what made it special than the Kahlua brands?
Well, I really appreciate that, and I love to hear that idea of you being transported, of it being something that that sense memory. The best thing that we can do is when we make something and it gives one an experience where there's sort of that instantaneous reaction. They think about another time and place. And the Nola coffee liqueur. This is a love letter to my wife Julia. So I met her in New Orleans, and came back here to the Bay Area and wanted to make a coffee liqueur that sort of captured the time and place and falling in love in New Orleans. And it took a few years of working with different coffee varieties, finding the right chicory type, trying to put all these ingredients together and getting them to sort of have a 1 + 1 = 3 concept. And so all the ingredients have to be married together so that they're really saying something greater than the sum of its parts. And so it was really inspired by meeting Julia in New Orleans, having chicory style coffee in New Orleans, and coming back to the Bay Area. And I made chicory coffee here in the Bay Area just by myself, and realized it wasn't as good. It wasn't as interesting. Went back to New Orleans, saw Julia again, and had chicory coffee. And I thought, this is the best thing I've ever had. And so much of this comes down to the time and place. It comes down to the experience of who we're sharing that space with, of who we're eating with, of who we're drinking with. And so eventually settled on a French roasted chicory root that's really dark and beautiful. And that was kind of the jumping off point for Ethiopian Yirgacheffe beans. They're dry processed, and they get a
Yeah,
lot of fruity sort of notes. So there's this great fig and black pepper quality in the French roasted chicory root, and the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe beans that are mostly dark roasted with some medium and light roasts in there have these great blueberry, raspberry, touch of stone fruit characteristics. And you put those together, and suddenly we had something really special. And then the trick for us was to sweeten it enough
oh yeah,
so that it would be a liqueur, but not so sweet that it's syrupy or cloying. And
yeah.
so we use organic cane sugar, and then we also use
Oh,
Madagascar vanilla beans. And that Madagascar vanilla bean gives us sort of a sensation of sweetness on the
oh
mid
yeah,
palate and back palate, so that we don't have to add as much sugar that will
yeah.
basically make it really syrupy and cloying. Because ultimately, I want Nola to be something that's really beautiful in a glass on its own, and then it also needs to be able to speak in a cocktail or maybe in a dessert as well.
That's true because I'm working on a recipe with your products pretty soon. I'm going to do like a cheesecake with bananas foster. recipe.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be on my blog very soon. So stay tuned for that, listeners, on my podcast. So it's going to be on my Instagram.
I can't wait to check that out. And I have to ask also, have you ever tried our spiced pear liqueur?
Not yet, because I'm going to check that out soon.
That the spiced pear liqueur is pear brandy, pear juice, Saigon cinnamon, clove, again organic cane sugar. It's got a nice sense of acidity as well as sweetness and that spice. As you described that the bananas Foster's sort of cheesecake concept. I got to say that the spiced pear liqueur would probably would sing in that as well.
That would be more for a crepe dish. That would be more for a different, a fruity apple recipe. Yeah, that'll be a
Yeah,
different concept. But I'm going to ask you another question. On
sure.
work, uh, you also have a spiced pear liqueur, and they're also excellent on margaritas as well. What are your? Could we post some of them on your our page on YouTube? You
Yeah,
got some
absolutely.
on your website.
We've got recipes on our website, and I'm sure we could put something together to post some things on your YouTube page.
Thank you.
Of course.
And
Yeah,
any
thank you.
upcoming tasting events in the works, like in the community of Alameda, San Mateo, Santa Clara? My viewers would like to know what's in the works for St. George.
We've always got a few things in the works. So our tasting room is reopened again, and we've been hosting tastings and tours here at St. George Spirits in Alameda. Right now, it's a beautiful day here. I can look out the window and see the whole San Francisco skyline, the Bay Bridge, see the Golden Gate Bridge out there as well. It's a really beautiful day. So it's a beautiful location. And then the spirits, the offerings here have been amazing. The tasting team is really incredibly talented. I'm really proud and excited for the work they're doing. They've been doing things like spirits and cheese pairings,
Wow.
which are really exciting and wonderful. I know that there's a caviar pairing that's coming up
Oh,
as well. And there's
wow.
we're doing some different concepts. So please feel free to check our website, and you can find everything that we're doing, we're offering here in Alameda, and as well as further afield. The best place for that is places like Instagram as well, Instagram, Facebook. We're definitely making sure to advertise as best we can for
Thank you.
events. Last one I'll also share is we also have a new gin that we're releasing here just in the next month or so. The Valley Gin, inspired by the Central Valley and the beautiful citrus groves that we
Oh,
in
so
the Central Valley.
explain what this new gin is about to the viewers that listening right now.
Yeah, it's a really lovely gin. Gin is defined by having juniper as a singular ingredient, and then in addition to juniper, we have 24 more ingredients in this gin.
Wow.
All kinds of citrus from lemon, lime, grapefruit, Seville orange peel, bergamot orange peel, Valencia orange peel. We have fresh Valencia orange blossoms that were
They're gonna love this.
it's really beautiful. Pink peppercorn and ginger give a zesty kind of vibrancy to it, and sort of a peak fresh cucumber as well as nutmeg. It's a really beautiful gin. Has a really special just sense of presence and shape. And the best thing I can say about it, and Chef Eva, you mentioned this before, but I really believe in making spirits that are something that will transport someone. And this is one where we worked really hard to capture time and place to be inspired by our friends at Lynn Cove Ranch in Southern California. And there's a family-owned citrus farm that we've known for decades now. They're just wonderful human beings with real respect for the produce they're putting out in the world. And they're doing an amazing job with it.
Wow.
They even do, Gelateria Naya, another great local Bay Area brand, doing gelato and things like that. Limited Ranch sells things like blood orange to Gelateria Naya for their blood orange hospital, their blood orange
Wow.
gelato. pops. We sell single malt whiskey to Gelato for their single malt whiskey gelato pops. It's a really great group of people. There's a great community that are all kind of working together.
That's amazing.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And then I first learned about bitters and bottles. You guys have a great product, and the owner has a dog named Shaggy, named Foggy, and he's such a cute dog. What did the host? I want to have him on the podcast someday, and he should be the owner of the shop, and he should, and he's really nice. And but the dog is something else. Did you meet the dog there when you talked to him?
I have met him, and I was just gonna comment. I absolutely agree with you. The folks at Bitters and Bottles are some of the best in the business. They're super just sweet individuals, and then they also just do a wonderful job of curating a selection that's really important to them and providing that sort of customer experience. Every time I've been in there, and everyone I know who's ever gone in there, they just have nothing but rave reviews and things to say. And you also end up at that place of, as they get to know you, they understand you get to develop a relationship of trust where they can say, hey, here's this thing that you liked last time. Let me show you what else is interesting. Let me introduce you to something new. And that's such a wonderful experience. It's something that's so invigorating to go into a shop like that and not only pick up things that are sort of our warm, comfy blankets, the spirits that we know, but to see people who are effectively friends at that point. And also, they sort of hold your hand and guide you and introduce you to new spirits, new experiences. That's about as good as it gets.
That's right. So we're going to play a little game that we do with all celebrity guests on the show, the top five. So we do it each. This is what we do in each guest. So here we go. So this is our hobby game. So number one favorite cocktail you most drink.
Boy, that's a very there's a lot of them to choose from, but the number one cocktail that I most drink, probably a Vesper. Vesper is gin, vodka, and usually a lay or an aperitif wine, and really beautiful, balanced, lovely cocktail.
That's a good choice. And favorite book to read.
Again, there's so many great options. A book that I just finished is from an author who's also a dear friend. It's called America Land by Daniel Goodman. Great, really amazing read that's just coming out here in the next month or so. So beautifully written. Every word in that book has been carefully and artistically crafted with just
Fantastic. I have a book coming out too on May 14th. It's a memoir about my life as an autistic chef in the Bay Area. It's coming out actually soon. So pre-orders go out live next week.
May 14th. I mean, that's right around the corner.
Yes.
Where can I pre-order this?
Amazon.
Okay, I'll be on it. I'm gonna check it out.
Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing, wonderful.
Favorite celebrity.
Hi, favorite celebrity. I am going to.
There's so many to choose from. There's a lot of spirits celebrities too. Like you can choose anyone.
That's a good point. Favorite celebrity. I'm going to say my friend David Driscoll.
Good.
Spirit celebrity. He's a great human being, talented person, and just and has an extraordinary palate and zest for life.
Good. Favorite podcast to listen to on your spare time.
My favorite podcast these days is the Rewatchables, which is it's a movie. It's a podcast where people listen to talk about movies, and I'm kind of a movie nerd, and so it's a lot of fun to listen to it.
And your favorite TV show that you watch currently?
Uh, Current TV show that I've been watching. Um, just finished the Three Body Problem on Netflix, which I read. I read the books, and it's fantastic.
Great. So it's good to learn about your products. Do you have any classes you do, like talk to spirits classes for your customers?
At the moment, I don't have any spirits classes. I know we are looking at some of those things for the future here at St. George, and so I could certainly see us doing something in the future. So I definitely would encourage people to sign up for our mailing list, uh, be on our social media feeds, because those things will be announced, and that's the best place to find out any information on it.
Yeah, it was great having you on the show, and you were great guest. So we were glad to have you on. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story. So thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Hey, Jeff Ava, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to reading your book. Congratulations.
You too. Thank you, and keep on Nola. And you
Yeah,
cheers.
you got it. We'll keep at it.
Bye.
All right, thank you. Bye now.
That was David Smith of um, St. George Spirits, guys. So thank you for tuning in. And I just want to say that I was Woman of the Year 2024 by the Mayor of South San Francisco. And I just want to say that I have a book coming out. So these are great things for me. So I have to let you guys go. But as we say, saucy to perfection. And we have an episode coming out. Next week, we have John Goodwin of the park ranger, national park expert, and a Coma native. So tune in for that. So see you then. Bye.